and welcome to Ask the Answers podcast with myself, a very excitable Adele today, because I cannot believe I've got a blast from the past, somebody that I've worked with many moons ago on the screen right now is the lovely Sharon, one of our psychics from Ask the Answer, who I've had the pleasure of working with many moons ago. Hi, Sharon.
Hello, Adele. My goodness me, this is a blast from the past. It's really good to be talking to you again after all this time.
I know. It's so funny because when I saw the podcast, I was like, is that Sharon who I used to work with? And then when I saw the profile, it is Sharon. But you had no idea that it was me today until I came on and then you heard my voice. You went, I recognise that voice.
I know that voice. Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I mean, so many, I can't even think how many years. I mean, way before obviously lockdown hits, because I haven't done, I mean, I've been a podcast and working with Ask the Answer for about 2 years, but I had a long stint out of doing any sort of presenting because I went more into fitness and massage, because obviously the other show I was involved with, lockdown hit, and then they sort of all went on to online businesses, so I wasn't needed in the studio anymore.
So the last time, I think, for me anyway, I think was 2019.
2019. So
yeah.
About a year after I had my second child, that would have been, yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I mean, you're still a psychic. You're still going strong.
I had to take I had to take a break for 7 years because of health issues, but I'm back.
Oh, there's no pinning you down.
No, no stopping me at all. No.
Brilliant. I mean, first of all, how are you?
I'm fine now, thank you. I had, as I say, health issues. It was regarding my breathing. I started asthma, had asthma, and I just had to take a break. But yeah, I'm back. I've been. I'm now working on Ask the Answer, and I'm loving it. It's great, and I'm looking forward to going from bigger and bigger strength.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how you can go any bigger, with the psychic work that you've done over the years, because, when I first met you, you had a whole list of things that you have done since being psychic. I mean, for people that maybe haven't heard of you, shame on them. But if they haven't heard about you, tell us, the sort of things or how you got into the psychic world, because you've got a fascinating story of how a massive investigation of a very well documented investigation in a child that went missing. You were very much involved with, and it brought you very much to the headlines. If you can touch upon that a little bit for people that are listening.
Well, first of all, I want to say that when I first realized or found out that I had disability, I was asked by my yoga teacher. This was when I was maybe sort of 18 or 19 years old. I was asked by my yoga teacher, how long have you been a medium for? And I said, sorry, I'm not a medium. I'm a size 10. How dare you? I thought she was talking about clothing, and I'm thinking, what? But it wasn't. And that was when I first realized, when I first heard the word medium. I'd never heard of any of this before. I was obviously practicing when I was growing up, but didn't realize it. But I got involved with working with missing people and that sort of thing through after I did a BBC documentary in Northern Ireland about my work. The person that we're talking about here, I don't really want to mention the name right now, Adele, because I don't really think it's important. It's way back in the past. But I was able to, it was a 5-year-old girl who had gone missing. And I was able to get the initials of the person who was responsible for her death. Mm-hmm. I was also able to pinpoint a lot of different facts about the case. And basically the fact that there was a forest involved and stuff like that. So anybody can look it up on the internet. But for me, it wasn't about any of that. For me, it was about helping. For me, it was about being able to provide information. And over the years, I've worked, among many other things, with lots of not just missing people, but missing objects. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it's a lot of people who are psychic are actually involved in that sort of work anyway, so this is not unique to me.
And do you mind me asking, for people that are listening, were you blind from birth, or did something come on later on when you were a little bit older?
No, I have actually been blind from birth, and that's what makes my work very much more unique than a lot of other people, because I have never seen anything. So especially when I'm working with missing people, I can actually put my hand above a map, which is a print map, by the way. It's not Braille, it's print. And I can actually pinpoint on the map where the locations are. Although I don't know physically what I'm seeing, but I can see it in my mind and I can pinpoint because my spiritual team, my spiritual guides, they kind of point my finger in the right direction.
It's incredible, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
and heightened senses. Do you believe?
Yes.
Do you believe you were born on this planet to be a psychic and to do what you do?
I absolutely believe that I was born to do what I'm doing, because if anybody had said to me when I was like 14 or 15 years old, you're going to be doing this, I would have thought they were absolutely nuts, because I grew up in Belfast. I grew up in a working class family. I didn't know anything about any of this sort of thing. It was not something that we discussed. So no, I would never have expected to do this. But you know what? I don't regret it. I mean, I've done a lot of things in my life. I've been on tours all over the country. I've done shows. I was in Ukraine doing a reality television program. I was only meant to be there for 6 weeks and ended up for 3 months because the revolution started in
Oh
Ukraine at
my
the time.
God!
Yeah,
Only you. Only
and
you.
we couldn't get out of the country. So they used to keep myself and my friend who was with me. They used to wind us up and say, "Oh yeah, you're from Belfast. You come over here, and the revolution starts." It was a standing joke.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Sharon, obviously, I haven't spoken to you since lockdown. I mean, how was lockdown for you? How did that shape you as a person? Because it changed so many people's lives in so many ways. How did it impact
Lock,
you?
Lockdown for me was very weird, because this is what I was saying about having to take a break, because at that time my asthma had got worse. So I had to shield. So I couldn't do any work. I couldn't do any work like regarding home appointments or anything.
Mhm.
The only appointments I could do was online, and over the phone or whatever. And
Mm.
it was a big change. I mean, I had a lot of people contact me during the COVID pandemic about people who had been lost to them through COVID. And it was a very difficult time for a lot of people. But
Mm.
thankfully, I was able to help bring some comfort and
Yeah.
some I don't know what we're looking for, um, some some relief to them.
Yeah. 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 I'm sure.
Mhm.
And how has your life been? Since spoke to you. I mean, just you as a person. What have you experienced? What have you done? Family, life. Tell me
Um,
what have I missed? I must have missed
oh
so much.
well, I'm now living in a little. I was living sort of more in the city when I was talking to you before. I'm
Yeah.
now living in a little seaside town
Oh, nice.
outside Belfast. It's beautiful. It's a little village, and I love it. It's right. The sea is just behind my house, and I love getting up and listening to the waves. And no, I live on my own still, and I love it because it gives me the space to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just about sort of pretty much the same as usual. Doing phone readings, um, listening to my books, and enjoying. I'm involved in different groups on social media like WhatsApp and Facebook and stuff like that. And I love it. It's just great. I'm
Yeah.
very happy
Amazing.
with my life.
That's good to
Yeah,
hear.
yeah.
Now you were, one of the only blind psychics when I met you doing the work that you do. But I believe that you've brought more of a community of people with disabilities to the psychic world.
I certainly have. After my book was published, a lot of people kind of came on board, not just through me, but because they had read my book, because my book still is actually, on certain, well, it's may as well say it's on Kindle and it's on Audible.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is that because they'd read the book, it was also published, not published, it was also read by the RNIB, which is a charity for the blind in London.
Hmm.
And so a lot of people heard about it through that. And a lot of people wanted to get on board. And I still teach psychic development today.
And was the book Second Sight? Was that the book
That's
that
correct. Yes.
that's
Yep.
the one?
Yep.
Uh, Have you
Second
written
sight.
any more? Have you written any more books since then, or was that the main book that really sort of
Uh,
launched you, people got hold of?
that was my main book because,
Yeah,
as I said, I had to take a break due
yeah,
to ill health. I just haven't had time. Although I'm definitely considering self-publishing another book at some point.
yeah, absolutely. And do you feel that your psychic ability is as strong as ever? Has it dipped in any way? Has it got stronger? How would you describe it?
My ability, now that I'm back using it again, because I didn't use it for a while, my
Hmm.
ability is no less strong than it was then. And you know how strong it was then whenever we were working together.
Yeah.
It's definitely no less. It's still exactly the same. Yep.
And you were very much known for when I was working with you for the lady who could always find sort of missing items. If anybody lost a ring or a watch, or they misplaced their handbag on a night out, everyone would come to you to find out. Sharon,
That's right.
where
Yeah.
is, where is this item? Can you pick up on it? How do you do that? Again, from somebody that can't actually see something, but you're able to pick up on where it is.
I work on the energy of the person. So I tune into the energy of the person. I trace back. So basically they tell me like it's a handbag, and I would pick up on the energy, and then I would try to trace the handbag back to where it is, or the watch, or whatever it is. Okay, I'm not gonna say that I'm always successful because that's not possible.
Mhm.
But I would say I'm pretty successful, and I still get asked those questions.
Mhm.
Although most of my work now is over the phone. The reason being that I don't have people. I don't actually do appointments now from my home because of the infection risk
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I do certainly do work by telephone, and of course, ask the answer is where you'll get me.
Yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely brilliant. And people listening, for you as a psychic and also as a person, what challenges have you had to overcome in your life where your psychic ability has helped you?
I overcome challenges every day in my life where my psychic ability helps me because I have such a strong communication with my spiritual team. The people who work with me and who have been by my side the whole way through my career. And I think for me, like if I'm stuck and I can't find something for myself, I can find things for other people. But when it
Mm.
comes to myself, that's a different matter. But I do try to, I would ask my team, okay, for example, yesterday, I couldn't find my power bank for my phone.
Hmm.
And I'm like, where did I put this power bank? And I just said to the people I work with, one of my team, can somebody please tell me where my power bank is, guys? And they showed me a picture of my coffee table in the living room, and it was there. So I use my ability every day to help me because I live on my own. I'm blind. There are things that I miss. There are things that I might have dropped or something, and they'll tell me. I mean, they're remember people who have passed on. They're sighted; they can see, and they are
Mm.
such a big help to me. And it's not just me. I mean, other people that I know who work in this field who are blind say the same thing. They have the same. They experience the same thing as me, and I get so much help and comfort because, as I say, it's not just me; it's my spiritual team as well, who have worked alongside me to make this all possible.
And when you talk about your spiritual team, are these people that have lived on this earth plane? Is it spirit? Is it you describe it as something else? Who are you talking about? And is it people that you've worked with all the way through your psychic work, or have they changed?
Some of them I have worked with the whole way through my psychic work. Others have come on board since uh, more recently, but all of them have lived on the earth at some point. A few of them, there's actually one or two of them that I know that I did know physically. and but most of them I don't. For example, my spiritual teacher, who I wrote about in my book, um, I call him the chief, but his name is actually Little Eagle. And he has worked with me from before I came here. He has worked with me from like before I reincarnated here onto the earth. And he's still working with me today. I don't see him all the time, but if I need him, he's there. And he has been a great help to me over the past. I'm now 60, so he's been like with me for probably 60 years now, if not, and a lot, definitely a lot more than that, actually. So he's been a great help.
Ah, and from from when we last spoke to each other, I
Mm.
mean, have the calls changed, or are they still very much the same sort of calls that you're getting?
The calls are very similar to what we would have been getting, what I would have been getting a long time ago. Relationships, work, what else? Family life. Sometimes it's to do with a lot of the work that calls I'm getting recently actually have been about career changes. A lot of people are definitely considering changes in career, and I think since COVID, because so much work is still being done from home,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more people who are trying to set up businesses now more so than before because people do work from home much more.
Absolutely, and so many different things that have evolved. I mean, you've got the chat, the GPT, and you've got AI, and you've got
Yep,
all these things where you don't even have to write your own CV anymore. You can have a computer that just does it for you, and going to the supermarket. We don't have people on the tills anymore. It's all just check out yourself. There's things that have changed a lot in the fact that one, it can make life easier for some people with work, but for other people, it can put them out of work.
it can. And I think that's the reason why a lot of the calls that are coming in to the lines, certainly from my experience, is concerning career. Because as you say, a lot of people are having difficulties with the job, with AI as well coming on board. And a lot of people as well, I think, since COVID, I think there's also been a lot of slimlining of businesses because
Yeah.
they're finding ways of not having the staff whenever they don't need them.
Yeah. I know, and it's so difficult because people that have trained and done work for years and years and years suddenly just getting made redundant. I've seen it a lot in my husband's work, and
Yeah,
then they have to
yeah,
take on another job that is not so fulfilling or not as paid as well. And you think they've put all that work in for so many years, and then suddenly having to start all over again.
that's right. Absolutely. And that's what we're here for. We're here to look into that glimpse, just to have a glimpse and see what's not what we're not going to tell them what to do, but we're here to try to guide them, guide people on the path and the best way to negotiate whatever is going on with their lives. And we can do so much to help. We can do so much to alleviate their worries and their fears about what's to come. And it's such a comfort to be able to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I know obviously you're amazing at what you do, and you've spoken to so many people over the years. But I love hearing your stories, Sharon. So, I mean, you've travelled so much. You talked about being in Ukraine, being in a reality show, getting stuck
Yeah.
there. I mean, where else have you found yourself in a sticky situation? Because I'm sure there's been many.
Do you have 4 hours? No, a sticky situation. Um, well, in the past 7 years, really, I can't really say I've actually been doing a whole lot because I'm only just getting back. But there will be times when I will be in sticky situations, and I know that my spiritual team and the people who work with me will be there to help me out of them. But I think
You missed travelling because
yeah,
you travelled a lot, didn't you? You did loads of. You went to so many places when I knew you.
I have been to places. I mean, I've been all over England, Scotland, and Wales, and Southern Ireland. Do I miss the travelling? To be honest with you, yes, I do. But at the same time, I like what I'm doing now because I'm working from home. I'm able to be I can work when I want to work. Whenever you're traveling and you're on tour, people think it's glamorous, but it's not. There's a lot of hard work involved. Because you're constantly on the road. Like I've been in motorhomes, in the middle of January when it's been snowing and stuff. It's been my life. I've done all
Yeah.
that.
And do you,
I don't
do
want.
you have to take a chaperone or somebody with you as well when you go out and do tours and things or travel?
Yeah, I have. I used to have a crew with me. One of them was my bodyguard. The other one, the other guys were like audio visual people,
All
and
right, Whitney
so
Houston.
they would have travelled around with me. Yes.
I said, all right, Whitney Houston with your bodyguard.
Yeah. Oh yes. Well, no. Well, actually, I must tell you, there was a time when he was. Well, there's not just one time. There's been a few times actually, um, whenever it's been necessary. Because there was one particular occasion where I can't mention the name of the place, but it was in a particular theatre, and a fundamentalist person um, actually tried to come up on the stage to attack me because he said I was the devil. So
Oh my God.
it has been necessary. Like
Yeah.
I've often been going through airports, and people have tried to come up and talk to me, and like I'm thinking I'm going to miss my flight, and so having somebody who's with me with the because my brand name um is Second Sight, so they would have like t-shirts saying Second Sight Security, and they would have, they would have to come out and say, you know what, she can't talk right now. I mean, I
Yeah.
have no problems talking to people, but there are times whenever my security have had to intervene and say no, not happening.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Wow. So you like I said, you've done so much over the years. You quite like being a bit more of a homebod now.
I do, because traveling's lovely and it's great and it's wonderful. But I think being at home, now being able to work from home, and being there for the wonderful people I've asked to answer, it's
Yeah.
great. I love it.
Ah, you are always so happy and so full of beans and energy, and you haven't changed. You're still exactly the same, which is lovely.
I have not changed, Adele, and I will not change as far as I'm aware. I'm going to be exactly the same, and I think I'll be the same in another 20 or 30 years' time.
Oh, it's brilliant. What advice would you give to other psychics that are listening that will see you as such an inspiration? You've experienced so many different things with your psychic world. What's sort of the biggest sort of advice you can give a psychic?
The advice I would give to any psychic is listen to your gut, because there's times when some people, especially in readings, some people will try to take out of a question or out of a situation what they want to hear. And I would say definitely, don't go with that. Go with what you feel and what you're being told by your team or your cards or whatever you're using, whatever tools you're using. Because sometimes you have to make sure that when you're doing this work, of course it's about answering questions, but sometimes people need to know things that maybe they don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't think, oh my God, I'm gonna tell this person something and it isn't what they want to hear. You have to go with what you feel, go with what you're being told. That's my most important advice. And I always give this to my students when I'm teaching development. I actually, as I said earlier, I do teach development on various social platforms. And I always tell my students, always listen to what you're being told or what you feel, not what the person wants you to tell them. And I think that's the most important thing. And the other piece of advice I would give is to, even if you have a bad day and you think, some people, come to me and say, oh my God, I didn't connect with that person. Do you know what? It might not be the right time for that person to have a reading from you. It doesn't mean there's a problem. And the advice I'd give is keep going, keep strong, and keep with the faith as far as your ability is concerned. Because if you're doing this, you're doing it for a reason. And all I can say is there's many, many wonderful, wonderful psychics and readers out there and light workers. And I'm just glad to be part of that community.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're right. For somebody that's starting out, you're sensitive already by picking up things around them. When somebody is not receptive or they're quite dismissive or quite rude or they say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, it can knock somebody's confidence when they're just starting to get into it, and I suppose that comes with time as a psychic and experience to know, no, actually, what I'm saying is correct. And I know I'm channeling through what is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Well,
was something.
I had somebody recently who said to me, "Oh, I've, you know, like, um, but you're not telling me what I want to know." I said, "Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not telling you what you want to know. I'm telling you what I'm being shown and what I'm saying. If you don't want to accept that, maybe it's not the right time. But you know what? You'll find in time that what I am telling you is what you need to know. Maybe not what you want to know, but it's what you need to know. But I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to try to guide your path. And for people who are starting out, sometimes people are rude, but it's actually not you that they're angry at. It's actually themselves, but they want to take it out on somebody, and
Yeah,
you're the point of contact. It doesn't necessarily mean they might say, "Oh, you're wasting my time," or "You're wasting my minutes," or whatever. It's not about that. Sometimes they just want to take it out on somebody, and the best thing to do really is to say, "Look, I'm really sorry. I'm doing what I can, and I have to tell you what I'm going to say," because trying to change or trying to you want to, even if you don't feel confident, you have to make them think you are.
yeah, no, absolutely. And you said you run your own psychic development courses and workshops. For you, is it everyone psychic and can do what you do, or are some people not psychic but they can learn to be psychic, a bit like an athlete? You've got someone who's a natural runner that can just sprint and win medals, and there's somebody that probably can't run very well but they've built up and they've trained and now they can do what that person was doing.
I have had people who've come to me over the years who knew absolutely nothing about their abilities. Every single person on this planet is psychic. That is why the hunters and the gatherers of many of the our ancestors, that's where they got their instincts from. Like when they knew the animal was in the forest, or they knew that that particular plant was okay to eat or not to eat.
Yeah,
It's all about the instinct. It's an extension of the instinct, and it's actually every single person has got an ability to be psychic in different ways. So yeah, all I can say is, if you feel that you want to explore learning about it, then go for it.
yeah,
Explore. Because the thing is, you're not going to do anything that's going to cause a problem. The way I see it is, if you're meant to explore it, then you'll be guided to the right teacher.
yeah, no, absolutely. And you're right. Yeah, we have shut down lots of our natural senses over the years. We've just been talking about it, but computers and AI, and we've got books and all these sort of things. Whereas back in the day, you wouldn't have had any of that, so you would have to go with your gut instinct and your senses, and tapping into the energies around you. And it's nice that there are still people around like yourself that can teach people how to do that when maybe their everyday job takes over, life gets in the way, they don't have time to sit still and to tap into that energy.
Absolutely. And that's the important thing. It's important to be able to understand that we can tap into it, we can learn how to tap into it, and we can learn to use it for yourself or for others. And
Mm,
that's the thing that's important, because you can use it for yourself. It's not just for other people. You can use it if you need it for yourself. And it's also very good as well if you find yourself in a situation where maybe there's a conflict or an argument going on. It's a good idea to learn how to shield against that.
yeah.
And it's not just psychics who learn about shielding. Like I spent some time doing counseling before I got into the psychic ability, into my psychic work. And when you do therapy work, you learn how to shield as well. So that's a very useful tool. But I mean, so basically, if you use the cards, like
Mhm.
oracle cards, angel cards, tarot cards, that is just that's just a way to activate your higher self and your higher intuition. And from then, you never know what you can lead to. So you know what, people, go out there and explore,
Yeah.
because you never know what can happen from that.
No, absolutely. It's very empowering. And I think, gone are the days where you see it as, oh, they're witches, or they're doing Ouija boards and all those sort of things. There used to be quite a lot of dark side to what people thought the psychic world was about.
There was a lot of darkness to what they thought. But the thing is, you know, as you said, there's social media, there's computers, there's AI. I mean, there's even AI now that can do readings actually. And the thing about it is, there is there they it actually well, there's apps you can draw cards and things like that. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is nowadays, thank goodness, the pioneers and the people who have gone before, they really have opened up a path. And I definitely hope that I will be remembered as one of those pioneers, because that would be my aim, to make sure that other people, especially those with disabilities, come on board and get into the psychic world. Because I tell you what, it's an amazing world to be involved in.
I think you absolutely will be remembered as a pioneer and a role model and the amazing work you've done. But you're not going anywhere yet, Sharon. You got years ahead of you.
Oh, I've got many years ahead of me. Absolutely. I want a telegram.
Brilliant. I mean, Sharon, is there anything else that you want to say to the listeners on the podcast that we haven't covered yet? Is there anything else that you're very passionate about, or anything you want to mention before we leave it
Um,
today?
well, I know this is going to be edited, so I'm going to ask. Am I allowed to say that I'm on Facebook?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I am on Facebook. And again, I'm going to ask this because I know it'll be edited anyway. So, but I don't know whether I'm allowed to mention this or not. But we have a group called Magical Grove.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually it's where it's a group sort of based. It's a group on Facebook, and it's not. Anybody can be involved in it. I don't know whether I can mention it or not, but if not, you can edit it out.
Exactly.
But it's Magickal Grove. But I can certainly say, I do have a page on Facebook. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning the Facebook thing is because there's a my page doesn't have a picture on it. The reason is because many years ago my identity was stolen
Oh.
because of the celebrity status.
Ah.
So somebody basically copied my Facebook page, and they were advertising different things under my name, which I had nothing to do with. So
Ah.
my Facebook page is now, it's the one without the picture. If there's any pictures of me on Facebook, it's not my page.
Yeah.
So basically, the only picture that you will see of me is the one that's on Ask the Answer site. It's the one where I'm wearing the red blouse in the photograph. But the point is, anything else regarding Facebook or social media is nothing to do with me. And I have to point that out because I don't want people going to the wrong pages looking for me. But
Yeah.
I would really, really would love to hear from people. I'd love to hear from people to hear their experiences. And if there's anything I can do to help, maybe answer questions, or maybe I can help to teach others who wish to who explore this path, I'm here. I'm available.
Well, your PIN number is 500863. So if you want to come through and have a reading and ask the answer with you, or find you on other social platforms, they can. Sharon, it's been amazing speaking to you today. It's really made my day. I couldn't believe my luck when I saw that we were going to have a little chat today. I'm glad you're well. I'm glad you're still doing what you do. I'm glad you're still showing that psychic ability and teaching others, how to be an amazing psychic, but also giving that guidance to people that need it through challenging times in their lives. Thank you so much for coming on board today on the podcast, Sharon. I wish you all the best. Don't be a stranger. We're gonna exchange details afterwards, I know. But Sharon, thank you so much. We really appreciate the time today.
Oh, you're very welcome, Adele, and thank you so much for having me on board. I'm so happy to be here and catching up with you again, and of course with all our listeners as well. So don't forget to come on board and give us a shout. All the
Brilliant.
best.
Sharon, thank you very much. Thank you, listeners.